Yo guys, welcome back to a new video. So, I've just finished Season 8, Episode 1 of Fear the Walking Dead, the premiere. And to be honest, I am quite conflicted. I didn't love it, and I definitely didn't hate it. I was neither on any end of feeling a certain way about it. So while I was watching it, I was kind of like, should I write down some notes or just watch it and then kind of write something down then and get my thoughts out? And I thought, no, I'll watch it, I'll enjoy it, I won't distract myself or whatever, and then I'll write down a couple of things that I thought were maybe a bit odd or just a little bit weird, and I'll mention them. So I have about 4 or 5 points that basically just my first impressions. So the first one that is summer I have loved and I'm dead excited about, Kim Dickens. It was great to see Kim Dickens back, Madison Clark back. I thought that she was decent. I thought she was better than season 4, and season 7 she was like horrific. The oxygen tank, I should probably mention that. The oxygen tank isn't gone, she still has it. They just hid it in the trailers and all. But I don't think it's that bad. Like, it wasn't obnoxious, and it did play a role in kind of what happened in the first episode. I mean, look, some people would prefer to at least just have the oxygen tank and try and make it work, and some people would just want them to come up with some crappy way of just to, whatever that word is when you just kind of forget about it, you just cancel it and forget it existed. But I'm fine with it. I'm not mad that they kept the oxygen tank. Like, it is what it is, and at least they don't have to come up with some stupid way of getting rid of it or whatever. And it does make sense with the way that she went to have some big consequence about her breathing. So, you know, it was great. On the signs and ends of Madison Clark, it was great. One thing I thought that stuck out that was very weird is the amount of times that they said stuff like, oh, that's what happened here 7 years ago, 7 years ago, 7 years ago. Why are we going this way? Because this is the way we went 7 years ago. It was ridiculous. Like, I don't know what the writers were thinking, Goldberg and all, but like, it was so obnoxious, the constant 7 years ago here, 7 years ago there. Like, we get it was 7 years ago. I think the episode felt a bit rushed. I liked it, and I thought that it didn't slow down, but some parts were weird. Like, Grace, what a weirdo Grace was, right? So she comes round the corner, shoots everyone, and comes in a little boat. And then she's like, sees Mo, and Mo's like, who's she? And Grace is like, I'm your mother. And it's like, oh, you know, Grace is actually normal. Grace might be willing to not be suck-ups to Padre. And then she's the one that calls Padre back and is like completely against Mo. I'm like, why did they get her to deliver the line of like, I'm your mother, so excitedly, and then to just Grace to not really care? Like, well, she cares, but like, if you've seen the episode, you know what I mean. Like, and it brings me to my next point. Morgan, Mo, and Grace are horrific. I hated every single one of them. Madison, I swear down, is the only one that had redeeming qualities. And that's not even a bias. Madison was the only character in this episode I enjoyed thoroughly and thought that what she was on about made sense. Like, Morgan, Mo, and Grace were all wrong for different reasons. Grace, we didn't see too much of her, but she was the one that called Padre on everyone. She was a bit of a traitor, I guess. Well, not a traitor to Padre, but a traitor to kind of the dynamics of a family. Morgan, see, the thing about Morgan, it's like the boy who cried wolf. Morgan has a good enough reason, like, for acting the way that he does. Madison did in season 7. But because I hate Morgan so much, and Morgan has had so many chances where I'm like, I don't like him, I don't like him, I don't like him, when Morgan gets an actual good reason on why we shouldn't like him, I don't care, because I already established that I don't like him, and so I don't feel sympathetic, and I just feel even worse for Madison and me and all of us for hating on him, because it just makes us hate him even more. And the same goes with Grace. And Mo, well, I already know Mo was going to be a problem. I was never a fan of Mo. I was like, no, I don't want Mo. And she turned out to be really annoying. Like, there aren't many kids in this universe that you actually like. I don't mind Judith. I know some people really don't like Judith. And, like, Carl was the only good character, but, like, Mo's horrible. Mo's best friend's just a little weirdo. She's annoying as well. Like, it's just really sick of these kids, if that makes any sense. But that's kind of it. That's my first impressions, I'm not too, like, mad, and I'm not too, like, loved. Like, I think the episode was fine. Do I say fine? I don't know whether to say fine or not. I think the episode was fine. I just have to say that there definitely were some problems. I would probably give it like a 5 or a 6, because if I was to go back and watch specific episodes from the newer era, or say season 4 to season 8, like just pick about 5, maybe 10 episodes, I actually think this would be one of them, and that says a lot how I've given it like a 5 to 6 out of 10. Like, I think back to season 3 and think about how well crafted those episodes were and how entertaining and engaging they were. And I'm like, so they were 10s. So this doesn't even come close to touching that. But then you think of episodes like Channel 5 and Amina, and you're like, yeah, it definitely also doesn't come close to that neither. It's in the middle, and maybe is it a 6? I won't be against putting it as a 6. I think it was entertaining. It had its problems, but I think the problems were more or less caused by other seasons. Like, more Morgan and Grace, I feel like, have a reason to act the way they are, and I just feel like because the old seasons have, at least Morgan and Grace, the old seasons have put them in my opinion, a really annoying and hating light. This is just another thing that makes me hate them, when really they actually do have good reason to be disliked. And the episode was definitely entertaining. I was engaged, but it did have its flaws and all. But thank you for watching. They were my first impressions. I'm actually really excited for episode 2. One thing I will say is that I am left very intrigued and interested to know what's happened with everyone, what's Padre gonna do, and everything to do with that. So thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time in a bit.